A million different things have come out of the AI boom, right? You've got chatbots, you've got agents, you've got a tool here, you've got a tool there, a tool everywhere. New tool is coming out every single day. And yet one of the most useful things that has come out is probably one of the most boring things, but it's AI dictation. And it's probably one of the best things by a long shot. And aside from using things like Claude and ChatGPT for coding, I actually don't think anything else comes close. By the way, hi, my name is Richard. I am a husband, founder, father of 5, and I'm building Yaps.ai. Now let me give some context as to why I think AI dictation is the best thing to come out of the AI boom as a whole. And I'll show you exactly what I mean as well. The thing is, AI has really got two huge camps, right? You've got some people who think, this whole thing is just hype. And then you've got other people who think, man, this thing is life-changing. I'm not even trying to play the politician, but both camps are actually right. On one side, AI has been extremely useful, right? You can write things faster than ever before. You can generate images and use that for marketing and all this kind of stuff. You can get AI to spin up and build things for you incredibly fast. And for all the talk about AI slop, actually, it's exceptional. It has changed industries entirely. People are being laid off because of it, right? Which is unfortunate. But it does go to show just how much things have changed. Whereas on the other side of the spectrum, you get tons of people who just want to implement AI for saying they implemented AI. There was a report that went out and it said something like 80 to 90% of board members or CEOs or directors or people running companies felt they were going to be fired by their investors by the end of the year if they did not implement AI. And so I know many companies, and I also know consultants who feel the same, who are essentially seeing people just try and implement AI for the sake of it. And as with every industry, you obviously have all of these cowboys who are willing to sell you snake oil, or who could sell ice to an Eskimo, and they're obviously trying to make a quick buck. And so you've got these people who don't know what they're doing implementing AI, and these companies who don't know what they want saying that they want to buy anything you're selling. That's hype. And not to mention, even at a consumer level, you have a million different products that are coming out and you find them interesting for a moment, but then another product comes and you're like, oh, that's interesting. And then that one's interesting, but nothing actually sticks. How many of these tools do you actually find yourself using past day 1, 2, or 3? And in that sense, it is hype. And so it's true that AI is both revolutionary, but at the same time, full of hype. Some companies are firing all their staff and then hiring these 10x engineers who will burn through millions in tokens, whereas you have other companies who are trying to rein in their AI budget spend because they realize they're overspending. A lot of it comes down to your vantage point. But when it comes to AI dictation in particular, the story is very, very different. And the reason it's so different is because typing, whether that's on your phone or your laptop, has always been an interface that we've regularly engaged with in order to get our thoughts into our devices. But in the same way that you can hear me talking quite fluidly, etc., it's hard to type at that type of speed. Especially on your phone, by the way, but even on your laptop as well. No matter how fast you're typing, it's hard to keep up with the speed that people speak at. You speak on average about 3 or 4 times, maybe even 5 times faster than you type. And with that said, AI dictation, speech to text, makes interfacing with your devices incredibly easy. Now, rather than typing out every single thought and idea line by line, you can just dictate it. You can speak clearly and fluidly, and you can let your thoughts run wild, and you can just speak everything. And guess what? Because AI has got so good, now it can clean up all of your mistakes, it can handle the formatting, it can handle the punctuation, and it can put all of the words that have come out of your mouth onto your device instantly. That's not small. And the reason it sticks is because you type regularly, and so it naturally slots into your life and it replaces it with something that you already do so well, speaking. Now the thing is, AI dictation isn't new in and of itself. We've always had tools that have done stuff like this. For example, Dragon was a popular solution back in the day, but the reason it struggled to stick was because it was too expensive and because it didn't really handle things like filler words and ums and ahs really well, all that kind of stuff. It was quite poor. It also didn't fix mistakes. It didn't do all of the formatting and punctuation and all of that kind of stuff really well. And so it wasn't a solution that the average person would just be using. Also, it was limited in terms of the places you could use it. But the thing is, tools like Yaps.ai have made it really easy to now dictate anywhere on any device at any time for a very reasonable price. There's even free tiers. So it's definitely something that, even though it was possible before to an extent, it was nowhere near as easy and as beneficial and seamless and sticky as it is now. Now it almost feels kind of caveman-like to be typing in 2026 when there's so many good solutions out there. And the reason I end up building Yaps.ai specifically is because a lot of these tools require sending your voice off to their private servers, which means that you have to be online. Whereas sometimes I'm traveling, or I have spotty internet connection, or I'm doing something on the go, and I just want to be able to work and dictate even when I don't necessarily have internet available. Another issue on that note was also just privacy. Like, I had concerns with a lot of these other tools because I didn't want to be sending off my personal conversations or things to do with proprietary things that I was dealing with off to some private server somewhere, especially when I know that a lot of these companies are training on people's voices. That's one of the big concerns a lot of people have about just all of this stuff. I don't want people training on my voice. Well, guess what? Yaps doesn't do that intentionally. Yaps runs entirely on your device, and it doesn't send your data off anywhere to any servers or anything like that. It stays completely local. That means nobody is seeing anything you say. Nobody is training on your voice or anything that you have done on your device. No one likes the idea of Big Brother spying on them 24/7, let alone training on your voice and stuff, right? That's just crazy. And then actually the final thing as well was just note-taking. I found that the tool that I was using at the time attached note-taking as a little add-on, but I actually wanted note-taking to be a really fundamental part of the tool itself. And so I built out something very Obsidian-like, a comprehensive note-taking tool that has full markdown backed notes with a full file system so that you can interact with your agents and all that kind of stuff. And it just means that you have these notes that exist in files on your system that can be powered and spoken into directly by this dictation application. And then there's a ton of other features in the App Store that all just complement it really well. But it just makes using speech to text directly on your device really easy, whether that's on laptop, Mac, mobile, you name it, right? Windows, it just works. And so whether you type hundreds or thousands of words a day, it actually just becomes so much easier and faster to dictate. And honestly, once you do it once or twice, you actually just don't go back to typing. Now, it's all well and good me talking about it, but let me show you. For example, if you open up the Yaps application, now, if you go to a random application on your device and you press this hotkey like FN on MacBook, you'll see the audio device just going at the bottom. And if you press it and say something like, today I want to go to the library, the shops, and buy some water, lettuce, ham, bacon, sausage, hot dogs, and coal. It will take everything you said, clean up the mistakes, format it, and paste it all in perfectly. It doesn't get much better than that. Ultimately, it doesn't just understand what you're saying, it understands what you want to say. That's what makes it so unique and revolutionary. And not just on desktop, like MacBook or Windows or whatever, but also on your mobile device. Again, you can download the Yaps.ai application directly from the App Store. It replaces your keyboard and has a custom dictation button that allows you to speak rather than typing manually. And again, it formats your text, it fixes your mistakes, it cleans up the filler words, and it turns your ramble into clean text across any application wherever you are. There are other tools that try to do this, but they fail on the cleanup side or they fail on the UX side, but Yaps really does this well across the board, especially on Android and iOS. So if you want to give this a try, make sure to check it out. Go to Yaps.ai, download it on whatever device you're on, and leave feedback. Let us know what we can improve. The tool is rapidly changing, and even by the time you get to use it versus this video, it'll probably be much better. So check it out. Let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, obviously make sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you want more, let me know in the comments the kind of things you want me to speak about, and I will walk through it to the best of my ability. But yeah, see you in the next video. Cheers.